Hey there, 240. In this assignment, the project demo number 1, what we're doing is we are encapsulating what has happened here in chapters 2 and 3. So really, in chapter 1 so you will need things like primitive data types, you will need things like strings, you will need things like if, else, switch, and decision-making structures of that nature. You will notice the very first line immediately under this is you can complete the following in project teams of individuals or up to 3. You will notice that the People tab in Eagle is right over here on the left-hand side, and you can go through there and locate somebody that you've worked with previously and ask them to work as a project team. Just let me know who you worked on as a project team so that I can make sure that you're graded the same. Or if you would like me to intermediate, I will start a message chain for anybody who wants to work in project teams, but one of you has to initiate that with me first. Use replit links and paste them into a Word document as always. That's how you would submit the assignment here. So there are a grand total of 3 questions, and each of them has a different points value depending on what the question entails. So the first one is redo a code sample that I have given you, and it's actually a code sample that we have talked about numerous times, either through the book material stuff or the sample video stuff, and it's actually the one I promised we would come back to. So we came back to it. The example I have for you there is a series of if-else chains, and what you will do for 10 points is rewrite that as a switch statement. So there you have it, 10 points. That's actually why it's worth the least amount of points, because much of the heavy lifting is already done for you. Program number 2, so another new replit link, is to ask the user to provide a week's worth of high temperatures. So how many days in a week? Your program will output the data in one line with fields that are 10 characters wide, so 10 spaces across, with 2 decimals of precision. That you can already see in the formatted output example I gave you. You've got some traction there that you can already use. However, you will also display the week's average high temperature and the day with the highest temperature. So think about what else you need to have to do there. How do you get the average? How do you get the highest? And we've already seen how you get the highest value from a range of inputs. If you look in chapter 3, the code is very nearly already done for you. Finally, number 3, ask the user to input an employee name. So string values, hours worked. What kind of data structure do you need for hours worked? You can think about that. Base pay, same thing. What kind of data structure? Overtime multiplier, time and a half, double time, whatever you choose. And tax rate. So I know I'm asking you to do a little bit of math, but I don't think it's terrifying math. And also, if you look at the examples from the text, there are in chapters 2 and chapter 3, there's a little bit of this code to help get you started. So use decision structures to determine if overtime is calculated. Whatever the structure you use, that's up to you. And then output the weekly earnings of gross and net pay. If you don't know what those are, I'll let you go ahead and look those out. Remember to format the output as 2 decimal places because, number 1, I want all of my money, right? So I want to make sure that if I'm earning, $500.16, I am not giving back the company 16 cents. No. So we absolutely positively want everything to be in 2 decimal notation. Again, you can work in project teams. That is perfectly okay by me. I will help you broker a project team if you would like. Otherwise, There's all the description you need. And as always, you can reach out with questions on these project demos. I don't tell you things like, here on line 37, this is where the issue is. But what I will do is give you like course corrective feedback. Like, you're working really hard on this. Why don't we look at a switch statement here instead, something to that nature. So I won't correct what you have with you, but I'll help you locate what those issues, errors, or questions are. So good luck and have at it.